One thing I'm sick of having to explain is why I have 8 baby daddies. Okay, so I'm explaining this one time for y'all, so it won't be any more questions. Okay, let me explain this. If you have one and you take away one, you have 0. But if you have 8 and you take away 3, you still have 5.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Captain Obvious. We totally wanted to know about your awesome math skills. Gentlemen, welcome back. I hope that you're having an awesome day as always. Really want to know what you think of the fresh cut here. Leave your comments in the comments section. Subscribe and like the video if you haven't already. Really appreciate your support. Um, but wow, no, she's obviously dodging the question and keeps on dodging the question as she decided to choose that prompt there. We're all really just wondering why you've let so many people knock you up. And they've really stirred up this one's head. I just don't understand why the hell she talks like that, being a white woman. Yep, I'm gonna go there. Anyways, we've got a bunch more clips for you, and as the title suggests, some of these, it's just like, for the love of God, stop. These are community posts, by the way, from the Discord, so thank you all for posting them. Some are a little older, some are newer, but anyways, let's pull up the next one.
When I die, bury me with all my eyes on. When I die, bury me with all my eyes on.
I wrote an article about this 7 years ago, a really long time ago. And I wrote it as someone who nearly died during pregnancy and who, like, as I was dying, was like, no, like, give her more time, like, keep her in, because my daughter was about to be born 3 months early. Because I had fallen for the idea that in order to be a good mother, I needed to die. And I've talked about this before, this idea that, like, the Edgar Allan Poe quote that the most beautiful story, the best, most poetic story is taking a beautiful woman and killing her. Women need to get over this idea that in order to be good people or good mothers, that we need to die. We don't. Your kids want you here.
When I die, bury me.
Alright, well, let's dissect that. Let's step into the office. Alright. Well, I'm just really surprised at the answer that came out of this woman's mouth. We've covered her before in a previous one, and it's just no surprise to me. Frankly, you know, I think a good mother would be willing to risk her life to save a child, as I think a good man would be a good father, or man for that matter, to save a child if they were in peril danger. Which I understand, as I was watching Timcast earlier this week. People are seeing women in danger nowadays and are feeling that they don't want to step in because of the legal troubles, and frankly, if we had still been in a patriarchy, in this matriarchal world, it's really just completely changed our ideas. We're afraid to be charged for helping people that normally we wouldn't. Like, some of the stories I saw, I think they was covering, was like a man tried to help a woman that didn't realize a car was coming, and she just told him to get her hands off him. And it was a daughter, and the father nodded at him as like, I'm sorry, my daughter's treatment was absolutely terrible. Thank you for saving her life. She'll one day think back to that man that saved her life and actually give a darn. But either way, this one misses the mark. Got a longer one for you, but it's an interesting dating story.
Last night was my ninth date with the tech guy, so let's talk about the very, very big update. Please excuse my Sundayness. I got my hair cut yesterday, so I'm letting it do its thing. I'm wearing 2 different colored tie-dyes. It's my clothing company software, so this is gonna happen. And I'm drinking my collagen coffee, so let's go along on this ride together.
Come on,
Let's get a
get to
little
it.
bit of context. So, the tech guy and I have been seeing each other for, I think we just hit our 6-week mark. And in the interim, we had agreed that we weren't gonna sleep with anybody else or do that, but that, you know, we were just gonna kind of take it slow, see what's out there, and not rush into anything. Now, in the interim of all that, as I was seeing the tech guy, I was just starting to realize, like, we are really missing one of the biggest components in this relationship that we're forming is the banter. And I had had another date with somebody. It was like a very casual thing. And the banter was so incredible and I was so mentally stimulated. It really made me realize a lot of like, fuck, this is what's missing with this guy. Prior to me meeting this gentleman, the tech guy and I had been hanging out and he just literally looked over me out of nowhere and just said, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And I was super caught off guard because we had only gone on a few dates and I just didn't feel like our relationship was at a place where that was appropriate. We hadn't met anybody's friends, we hadn't met any family. Like there was just not enough, I think, data points to know somebody well enough. And like, I'm a super anxious dater, or I have been, and I'm working on that in therapy and in my journey. And for me, it's always been a like, oh, okay, great. Well, if somebody says that you're their girlfriend, you've got it. You don't need me more. And now I'm trying to be a lot more intentional of like, but is this the connection I really want? Is this really what I'm seeking? And is this the person of which I want to spend my time and energy on? Last night, the tech guy and I decided to go out to dinner because I really wanted to have a little chat with him and be honest about the feelings that I was having. And I actually don't think it could have gone any better. You know, we had one of the best and most honest conversations with each other. We were able to share like, hey, these are things I like and don't like about the relationship. These are things that I think are, you know, areas of improvement and also things I think that are really great. And I was able to be super upfront and candid of like, yeah, the connection I'm seeking is something that I just don't feel like we have right now. I don't think that it's not that we can't get there. I just think that it's something I needed to be honest about. And he reciprocated the same, telling me things that he was worried about or nervous about or hesitant about or whatever. And it grew us so much closer by the end of it. Let me preface, it was incredibly difficult being so vulnerable and honest with somebody because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, but at the same time, remaining true to yourself and saying it in a kind way is really important because you're not going to create intimacy or closeness unless you're honest and communicative. So the evening ended with us being really open, really candid, and just saying, I'm super into you. I like you as a person. Let's see if we have that long-term connection here. Let's just date each other, give each other this energy, and we'll kind of go along and be as honest as we can up through it all. So I get to see him today, and I'm super excited, and I'll keep you guys posted. Last night.
Wow. All right. To me, that looks like what a healthy dating life would be. However, and let me preface this by saying their conversation that they had at the end of that TikTok is a very healthy way of going about things. This man needs to get red pilled. If you're asking a girl out within 3 dates of dating them, you're coming off incredibly keen. I'm surprised that didn't completely turn her off and she didn't walk away. Frankly, these TikToks I hadn't looked through other than the first one, so I'm just really completely surprised, and I think that's why more men need to listen to dating advice on the web if they're to do well in the dating sphere. That's if they want to date in this world, which I really don't blame them. If we look at the intro clip with this woman who's racked up freaking, what was it, 11 kids over 8 different fathers? That's absolutely insane. And I was just looking at her TikTok stuff, and it's also pretty insane. I would absolutely be demonetized if I decided to put up anything other than that. But you know, I don't think you really want to go looking through that. I think you guys are smarter. Sorry about my voice. I'm kind of dealing with a little bit of a throat issue, but I'm gonna just rock through it and get you guys the content that you need. And yeah, I think the second TikTok, the woman completely just missed the point there. But either way, I'd really like to know what you think about things. I appreciate you guys sitting through this one as we test a new format. And till my voice gets better, just gonna take my time with these ones. So thanks for watching. Hope that you have a terrific day, and always do your due diligence.